Welcome to the Express train to your first design. My name is TaylorPOD, and I've been a print-on-demand seller for the last 2 years. And I have to say, when I first started print-on-demand, design was by far the hardest thing that I had to learn. I had no background in it whatsoever, and I have Andy here with me, he has no background at all. But Andy, do you want to introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Taylor. Hey, I'm Andy. I'm a senior product manager working on Adobe Express. As Taylor mentioned, just like Taylor, I've got no background in design either. But we needn't be concerned about that today, because we're going to show you how to make 2 standout print-on-demand designs in about 10 minutes. So I think we've got you covered.
Yeah, and I have to say, when Andy first shared that with me, he thought it was a drawback, but I honestly thought it was a really great opportunity, because you might be watching this and feel that you also have no design background. So not to rag on you, Andy, but if Andy can do it, we all can do it. It is something that can be learned over time. So when it comes to designing for print on demand, the important thing to remember is that simple is what sells best, and we don't have to overcomplicate our designs. So let me show you exactly what we're going to be working towards today. We are going to be creating 2 designs, I'm giving myself more credit. Andy is going to be creating 2 designs today. First is going to be for a t-shirt, and then the second is going to be for a tote bag, where we are able to create a more all-over print design. So 2 different design styles that you're going to be able to take away some really great tips so that you can apply them in your first design, or 5th, 10th, 100th, whatever design it might be. So with that being said, the first thing that we're going to do when we start to design is we need to get an understanding of the dimensions for our design that we're going to be creating. This is important because when we create a design, if the file size is not large enough, it's actually not going to be the best resolution for our product, which means it's not going to print at the highest quality. We might get a little bit of a spotty graphic or something like that. That's not really going to make our customer too happy. What I did is actually at the very top left, you'll see that little eye icon. And here I can see my print area size. This is exactly what we need and what Andy is going to be plugging into Adobe Express so that he can create our design at the perfect resolution that's going to look fantastic when it prints on our product. So with that being said, Andy's going to talk a little bit about the Adobe Express and basics of it.
Let's get into it. Alrighty then, so let's give a bit of background on Adobe Express, shall we first? So it's your all-in-one create anything app. So of course today we're going to be creating some print-on-demand designs and 2 standout examples particularly, but you could be creating anything in Adobe Express. You could be creating video content or social content. As we click on social media just on this homepage, you'll see a lot of inspiration, start points, TikTok trending sounds, etc. Anything you need both to help you create your print-on-demand designs and stand out online. So really it's like your end-to-end marketing platform. Now you can also get a heap of inspiration just from this templates area on the left-hand side here. So if we click into templates here, you'll be given a whole host of inspiration, and that will give you ideas from the things that you could create, templates that are fully customizable, tens of thousands of stock images, anything you need to ignite your imagination and inspiration so you can get creative. And also, as I said, it can be your end-to-end marketing platform as well. This allows you also to just go into this schedule icon just in the bottom left here. This schedule icon allows you to organize your social media content. So let's just get into that. So here, as we click into the schedule icon, we can see all of our social media content planned out and organized, so we can really start to both build our designs for our print-on-demand business and help market it across multiple social channels. All right then, with that, it's time to get designing. So let's click this little plus button, because that's where we're going to start in all of this. And then we're just going to navigate to custom size just here. So if we see where we've got a custom size here, let's just go nice and slowly to this, give the mouse a chance to catch up. Let's click on this. All right then, so let's go with the dimensions that you shared with us, Taylor. So 3981, and we're just going to do that by 5,000. So here we can make sure we've got the perfect size and dimensions that we're going to need for our t-shirt design. So we're going to create a new file. Nice. So this is what we're going to be working with. This is our blank canvas. Now, with our blank canvas, we now need to start filling it. Now, for this, we're going to create some Halloween-themed print-on-demand designs. Now, to get some inspiration for the things that we could create, we're going to go into Elements on the left-hand side here. So going into Elements, what could be much more Halloween-y than pumpkins? So we're just going to go into Search All, and we're going to search for pumpkin, and we're going to go with that. Now, when that finds all of the assets here, I'm going to look into Design Assets. Now, all of this is free for you to use. You can use this for commercial purposes as well, and it's a great way of getting some inspiration. So I'm just going to scroll down because there's a pumpkin I have in mind that really looks like the kind of feel we want to go with. So I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and find it. Cool, there it is. So just this pumpkin here. So this is the one I quite like the look of. If I can just navigate to this. There we go. This mouse is giving us some fun today, yes. I think, Taylor, isn't it?
It certainly is. But
so
you know what? We work
We're
with
here
it.
for it. We're here for it. So, all right, cool. So this is the one we want to need. And why are we bringing this in? We want to use this to kind of gauge and guide our inspiration. So we're actually just going to take a screenshot of this. And this seems a bit weird why we're going to be doing this, because we're going to be using generative AI actually to create the rest of our designs, because I want some illustrated characters for this design. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Media here, and we're going to navigate to Generate Image. Now, this is where we're going to use generative AI to create this image. So we want a square. That layout is just fine for us. Now, what we're going to do here in this instance, and the reason why that we've got the pumpkin icon that we shared earlier, is that what we want to do is be able to bring in this as what we call a style reference. So this means everything that you create with AI will feel uniquely yours in that kind of style, because we like that artistic style we've just created here. And this is a great way of using generative AI and the tools here to make something that feels like yours and also feels unique. So I'm looking for a friendly-looking cartoon style white ghost with a black outline holding a pink flower. And you can see my terrible spelling, but never mind. We're just going to go with this. And it's always fun typing when lots of people are watching. But let's just go ahead and generate that. I reckon AI is clever enough to figure this out. Even we'll be able to cover my terrible spelling. So with that, what it's doing now is taking our prompt, taking everything that we've selected here, and look at that. So how cute is that, Taylor?
It's adorable.
So we're going to go with that. So we're going to make this guy just a little bit bigger, of course, because we need to fill up the canvas. I'm here for this guy. So let's go ahead and just click on that guy. And now what we're going to be able to do is remove the background of this. So let's come out of this and just click on what we've just created. Just go ahead and remove the background. Because once we remove the background, it means that all the rest of the characters are going to sit nicely with each other. We're going to add a few more, however. I'm going to just do one more, and we're going to create that using the same steps. Go to Media, go to Generate Image in this instance. Again, we're going to use a square. We're going to use our style reference again with that pumpkin that we liked the style of, because this is a really important thing and a really important feature of Adobe Express that we get the randomness of generative AI away when we're using a style reference, because now we can make it feel like the kind of vibe that we're going for. Now, friendly-looking cartoon style jack-o'-lantern. Cool. Hey, look, I can spell this time. So there we go. Let's generate this one. And as you can see, we can change the content types as well. We can go for real specific styles like layered paper. We can get really, really precise with what we're prompting here. And it allows us a lot more customization control. And actually, this one looks just fine for me. So we're going to go with that guy. And we're going to take the same steps again. We're going to make this one a little bit bigger, a little smaller, actually. And again, we're going to use the remove background feature. That's just on the left-hand side. Going to remove the background, which will make everything sit really nicely in the frame. Nice and quickly, just like that, our background is removed. And we're just going to reorder this slightly. I'm going to move the ghost here, move our little pumpkin guy there. Ghost goes there. As you can see, we've got some layers on the right-hand side here. So the layers will help us choose what we want in front of each. So if we just navigate into the top right here, we can just say, actually, I want this ghost on top. There we go, and just layer it on top. OK, so I've created 2 more characters that I did just in the interest of time. I've actually stored them in my brands just over here. Brands are a really great place to store any brand assets that you regularly want to use. And here they are. So let's bring in our skeleton guy. Let's just bring him in here. Cool. And we're just going to do that one more because we've got one more character to add into this. Let's bring in my favorite, which is our cat in our pumpkin. So let's go with that one too. Cool. Now, it's just going to be a process of organizing this and make sure we're sizing it appropriately. So we're just going to make that one a little bit bigger. You'll notice how we've got like the pink lines that are just helping us keep our design honest, straight, and true. And let's take this skeleton, of which I can just select it from the layers panel here. We're going to make the skeleton a little bit bigger and have the skeleton guy on the left-hand side here. So let's go with that. Move our skeleton here. Let's, again, just make sure everything's all nicely aligned. Bring our skeleton a bit bigger, I think. Let's go ahead and do that. Cool. All right, so we now got our crew. We're going to use this for our all-over print as well. But of course, we need to add some more interest to this. And your T-shirt's not the same if it doesn't have some text on it too. So let's go ahead and just work with some text. So let's navigate to text here. And just at the top, add your text. We're going to pop that in. And let's have a bit of a pun, because we all love a Halloween pun. So ghouls just want to have fun. Nice. All right, cool. So that text doesn't look that great, I don't think. But the great news is that you've got AI helping you out and helping your design out here. So now we've got some text effects here and some recommended fonts, of which I actually really just like that one. That one works really well. And just going to make that a touch smaller. And again, it's just a case of resizing this and placing it until you're happy with how this looks. So let's just go ahead and move this one just up to the top here. And because we're going to use the layers panel, let's go ahead and just layer that one to the back. Cool. So this is starting to look pretty good. We're going to add one more thing in this as well, add some elements in it too, and we're going to finally just go to our icons here, and we're going to look for a bat. Let's search for that. So actually I'm going to just navigate here into icons, and here I quite like these bats here, and I'm going to add this one too on top. So I'm going to go ahead, just change that fill over here, because we can change all of these elements in Adobe Express. As you can see, it's all just at the click of a button, really, really simple editing experience. We can just go ahead and resize that one appropriately. And we're just going to bring these ones up to the top. So let's take this one and navigate up to the top here. I think we'll just have a bit of rotation on that too. And we're going to take this one and make this a bit smaller as well. Give it a little rotation, why not? And let's navigate that up into the top. All right. What do you think, Taylor?
I love it. Very spooky, but cute, and not so scary.
Exactly. Now we're just going to take the background color, and we're just going to put that as no fill. We don't want any background to it. And then with that, we're good to download this and ready for you, Taylor.
Absolutely. So once we have our design downloaded and we already have our product creator open in Printify, all we're going to do now is just go ahead and upload in that design, which is super easy to do. We are going to add that to our t-shirt. And I want to give a couple points of reference just when it comes to placing your design on a t-shirt. And really, it can be applicable to any apparel product type. I'm going to give you 2 markers that you can look for with your design so that it lines up perfectly and your customer is going to be happy with it as well. So as we're adding this to our library, the first marker that we're going to look for is the armpit of the shirt. And the reason that I look at the armpit is because oftentimes you are going to want that armpit to imagine a dotted line crossing from armpit to armpit. You want it to dissect the middle of your design. And so that's going to make sure that the design is high enough up. It's not too low on your customer's belly button. Might look a little funky. So that's a really great way to get a visual for where that design can be. Now, for the second marker, you're going to look at the collar of the shirt. And oftentimes, I like to make sure that my design isn't too far past the collar. So just by minimizing the size of the design like so, sometimes you might have to play around with your placement just like this. And that's going to make sure that the design doesn't fall into the customer's armpits so that they can actually see the full design and really show off what they're proud of with their Halloween spooky design. So just clicking preview, we can see exactly what that looks like on a mock-up. I think it looks pretty fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and get into our next design now, and that is going to be for our tote bag. So with our tote bag, we are going to grab our dimensions again from the start. So for this, we're doing an all-over design, and with this, we're going to, very similar like our t-shirt, click Start Designing, and in the same area, we're going to go back up to that far left, look for that little eye icon. Sometimes it pops up automatically, sometimes it doesn't, so you're just going to look for that every time. And here we can gather our print area size again. So we have 2,175 by 4,350, and then Andy's going to be able to plug that right into Adobe Express so that he can start working on our all-over print.
Love it. Thank you, Taylor. Right.
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to navigate back to home because everything's saved automatically, which is always good. Following very similar steps as to what we did last time. So we're just going to navigate to custom size, and then we're going to do 2,175, and then 4,350. All right, create new file. Let's get on it. So we're going to use some of the elements that we created before, and we used before, because we're essentially taking that design, but we're repurposing it across different products. So we're going to go ahead and add a few things from our elements. So I'm going to go find our pumpkin, which kind of inspired all of the other designs. So find that again in our design assets here. And yeah, scroll down, and we'll find that one again.
I'll add too, as you're looking for that pumpkin, I think a lot of times we might want to take that original design, that t-shirt design, and put it directly on a tote bag, which we absolutely can do. But I think what's really beneficial about creating an all-over print is you are going to take that original design style and really elevate it, taking it to the next level. And it helps you build out your product catalog too, so that when somebody might find your spooky, ghouls just want to have fun design, they're also going to see that you have other products potentially in that same niche, in that same category, and you can really up-level your shop in that way.
Love that. Yeah, really good ad. So let's go ahead and add some of the other icons. This is going to be more of a job of like copy and pasting and placement. So it's just going to show you how easy it is to like repurpose your design. So let's just go ahead and add that there. And we're just going to add another bat element. So let's go ahead and add this one. Okay, so I'm going to bring all of the elements into this design first. So the characters that we've just created, all saved here still. So let's bring in all of our crew. So back to brands. Again, brands, really nice place for you to save everything that you regularly want to use. So let's go ahead and get this mouse working. There we go, there we go. Add this one. Perfect. Back to brands again. Add our ghost we created together just a moment ago. And finally, just head back there one more time, and we're going to add this cat. All right, so now we've got multiple layers. We've got loads of things on our canvas here. So now it's just a chance to really start orientating and building this one out. So I'm going to go ahead and move a few of these, and we'll resize them in just a moment. And let's go ahead and move this one down here. Let's remove that bat just for now. And let's go ahead and grab that pumpkin. Cool, so let's move that one up to the top here. And those lines help keep us honest here. So we've made sure we got good design integrity. And I'm just going to copy and paste that one. And we'll just place them on either side of this graphic here. OK.
I think the tedious thing with all over designs is it's a lot of copy and paste and a lot of kind of putting patterns together. And it's something that I think can be a little bit intimidating, but you start to notice the patterns the more often you do them, which really can be helpful in scaling this type of design style as well.
Definitely agree with that. So also, it doesn't help when you've got a mouse that's kind of skipping around and got its mind of its own. But we're going with it. So let's go ahead and move this guy up to the top. And I think, you know what? On this instance, what we might do, because this might take a little while to do this, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to navigate back to what we created earlier, just in the interest of time, I think. So we're going to go ahead and take this one, because this is essentially the output of that we were creating, navigating and orientating all of the things that we've just created, everything that feels uniquely ours, and just organizing it into this repeating pattern for this all-over print product. And I think, Taylor, at this point, let's hand it back over to you and get that one.
Yeah, let's add it to our tote bag. Let's see how this turns out on it. I love being able to see the final picture here. I think it really does put it into perspective that it can be simple to create an all-over print design. It is just, again, recognizing those patterns, making sure that everything's lined up. I personally love that feature of being able to see the lines. I heavily rely on them. It is one of the greatest resources. So let's add in our all-over print design and see how this looks on a mock-up and see how it plays out on our tote bag. Now, another tip here, as this does upload in, you'll see that we do have some blank area, and what we can do with an all-over print design often is use the duplicate feature in our Printify product creator, which is gonna be, it looks like two little papers right here. That's what you're going to be using. What we're gonna do in this instance is I'm gonna just go ahead and bring up the size here. Ooh. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We're going to make a tricky decision here of trick or treat. You guys get the trick, you're not going to see it. So with that being said, we can imagine what this is going to look like. And I hope that you take away some really great tips. Andy has so many great tips with creating all of those designs. So let's just take a look at what those final products really are going to look like. And we have our t-shirt design, we have our tote bag design. Now, of course, these are on these two product types, but that doesn't mean that they have to stay on these two product types. They really can be scalable to so many different things that you might be looking to explore in your print-on-demand business. Now, my final takeaway, and what I really want to encourage you to do is start designing. That is going to be the fastest way for you to improve your design skill and really just feel more confident in the designs that you're creating. And Andy, I believe you have something that's going to help our viewers get started right away.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks, Taylor. And most of what I've shown you today is entirely free, so feel free to start designing with Adobe Express, and I really hope you find really good use in it. But of course, what we've also done is given you 2 months free access to premium features, so like remove background being one of those, and unlimited use of generative AI features that we've been sharing today. So I really hope you find that useful, and yeah, thanks so much for your time.
That's such an awesome offer. I hope everybody's grabbing that 2 months free right now. So with that being said, we might have gone through this a little bit fast, a little bit all over the place. Please feel free to watch this replay back, take it frame by frame so you can get familiar with the features, what Andy was clicking, when he was clicking it, so that you can repeat the same design process in your business. Next up, we have Juna from Detour Shirts. He is going to be telling us all about picking the right sales platform. Stay tuned.